So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off by removing this little guy right here. So just take a needle nose plier, pull it out, save it because you don't want to lose this stuff. We're gonna reuse it. Same thing down here. Okay, and let's save this baby as well. And after that, we pretty much almost have disassembled something that's gonna hold it. So we're gonna push this baby out. So just take we're using this punch here. And you're just gonna tap on the back of this, and this guy will come out. Same thing over here. This one's it's loaded because it has this little guy right here. But if you take a needle nose or something similar to it, this thing will come out. So just put your hand over here because the retainer's gonna try to fall out. If you don't have a new one, we're gonna use the old one. Anyways, let's take this little guy as well. Okay, so pretty much if you put the key in the ignition, you should be able to turn this baby so you have a better angle at it. So what I like to do here is, if you want to do one at a time, you can do one at a time. Okay, just like this. You're going to compress this baby just like that. So that's how you're going to compress these. You don't want to go hard on the caliper, on the rotor. So I'm going to go get another pry bar and we're going to do this together. Okay, so we got this little guy. Okay, instead of a pry bar, it works the same way. Same magic that it's going to do. You see how the pad went all the way in? It's okay. You can pull it back out, push it from the other end. But that's even good for us because now we should be able to put our pry bar back here and compress the piston. But you're going to have to do both together because they're going to try to work against each other. So if you take this little guy and you do that, just get enough space, just have enough clearance. Okay, let's make enough clearance for one side first, and we can put our tool in back of that. Okay, so it is gonna be a little tough, but you should be able to get it eventually. Okay, so once this thing is in there, you should be able to get this side as well. As you get more and more space, you should be able to simply just do this and check that out. Just work your way evenly for all 4 pistons. And they're compressed all the way in. Bada bing, bada boom. Should be able to slide out. This little guy should be able to slide out. This little guy. And just keep it in order, just so you don't mess up anything. So I'm gonna get a little bit of cleaner and we're gonna work this back together. Okay, so our next step on this Lexus is you want to take a small little wire brush that's gonna fit in there. Just clean the heck out of this. And just like that, you're gonna do top and bottom. Once all that is done, you're gonna take some brake cleaner, parts cleaner, spray this baby, give it a moment for it to dry up. And let's talk a little bit while it's drying up. You see this? This is the pad I took off from the inner side. It got the brake wear indicator right there. So we're gonna put it same direction. Okay, so we're gonna take one of these brake pads and put it right there. Okay, but prior to that, we do have a small little mechanism here. So this little guy comes with all this stuff. So these are the brake pads, and these are little shims. So there's a whole bunch of them. Okay, there's a whole bunch of them. Okay, so I have 4 for each side and brake pad. So you need to install all this if you want to use these brake pads. What we're gonna do here is, this is very simple. Okay, you take this little guy, you're gonna have to figure out how you're gonna get this onto that piston. Okay, and it pushes right in, and it shouldn't be that difficult to get this baby aligned. And that's it. That's how these sit. You're gonna take all 4 and do the same thing for all 4 pistons. So this is gonna quiet the brake down a bit, so it works like a little. It takes the place of these. Okay, so it is important that you put that in. It's all gonna come in a package. It's gonna have 8 of these, 4 for one side, since we got 4 pistons. Okay, I'm just trying not to get this between. Okay, trying to get it in the proper spot because you can install it wrong. It can be installed wrong. Okay, you don't want to go between the washer. The rubber seal. You just want to make sure it's right where it's supposed to be at. Okay, so there it is. That's how simple it was that. So I'm gonna stick my head in here just to take a look really good, and everything looks fine to me. Okay, now remember this brake wear indicator on the inner pad is in the bottom, and we're gonna put a little bit of greasing right here. The reason why you need greasing there is so it can move better as it moves back and forth. So keep an eye on those brake pad hardware so it doesn't move out. And we're gonna let that baby sit there. So we're gonna grab another brake pad. So this brake pad does not have a sensor. So check this out. The outside brake pad does not have a sensor, brake wear indicator sensor. So that's fine. So we're gonna do the same thing here. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing here. A little bit of greasing. A little bit of greasing here. You don't need to put any greasing in the back, and that's about it. So just keep an eye on the shims that we just put in. And we're gonna slide this pad in as well. And that's how simple that is. Okay, one more thing. A lot of people will say clean this off. I usually leave it alone. The reason is because once you clean it, it moves, and then it rattles. Every time you hit a bump, it moves and rattles. So even if you get a new one, they're probably gonna be thin. So I try to avoid that. So we're gonna put this little guy goes in that corner, this guy goes in that corner, and that's how that mechanism works. So we're gonna start off with the one side because it is gonna try to push itself out of here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to bring that brake pad back out. And here it comes. There it is. So we're gonna put this baby in. Okay. And we're gonna get this guy to go in. So the brake pad went back in again. Okay. Brake pad went back in. So it's, even if you want to tap it a bit, you can tap it a bit. One more thing, I want you guys to just see if you can line that hole. But at the end, what you want to do is make sure this is sitting inside this groove right here. So you see how this side is sitting there? So make sure this sits inside this groove, just like that, and push it in, and that's it. It's gonna work like a spring. Okay, it's gonna try to open these brake pads up every time you let go of the brake pad. Okay, do not forget the second brake holding pin right here. Okay, and the last thing you want to do is you want to take these little guys, you want to stick these retainers in. That's gonna lock everything up. Where's my second one? So over here. So the process applies, same thing on the opposite side. Bada bing, bada boom. You're all done and all set. Do both sides. After that, make sure you compress your brake pedal, press it 4 or 5 times before you start the car. And that's it. We're all done here, and I am gonna do the opposite side. And procedure is the same. Thank you for watching, guys. See you guys on the next one.